welcome to another video, guys. Dante here. This is the final round of sprints for 2025 Club 100. So obviously posted a few sprint videos already. Everyone seems to like them, which is good. I enjoy making them. It's also fun, these videos anyway, because at these rounds you never know what's going to happen. But this is an important round. This is the last round between Fraser and I for the championship. I've got to be honest, Fraser needs to have a not very good day and I need to have a perfect day to win. Which is always going to be hard, especially around Buckmore. Fraser's very good at Buckmore, he's good everywhere, but he's also good at Buckmore. But so are we, so we fancy our chances. He starts right behind us, in fact. You know what the programme's like for this. It's 3 random gridded heats and a final. So let's see what we can do. This is obviously our kind of mid-start, starting in 6th place. And away we go. We waited a long time for this round as well. You see, already trying to cut to the inside, but it is mixed conditions here, everybody. It's some areas are dry, some areas are wet. Very tricky to kind of tell. You know, we did no practice going, well, on the day, that is. But you can see Fraser's already passed us, but we've been able to cut back. A lot of action going along here. Then we've got drivers 4 wide ahead of us, so we're going to cut underneath. You see Andrew McGreen quite slow. We get clipped. And that's it. We nearly get overtaken by the pace car. That's how far back we've dropped, but that is it, guys, for the championship anyway. Well, it seems. You can see here the drivers all 4 wide. Andrew McWilliam hard sent the inside, didn't come out very quickly, and you can see in front of us they were all alongside. We wanted to cut on the inside, but we just cut off another driver, and we go spinning round. We get clipped once and then twice. You can see here, you can see what I saw. And to be honest, I'm not disappointed I went for that. I think I would have definitely gained at least a place. You never know what was going to happen. You just never know. But it's a massive shame because that's kind of the day already done in terms of the championship, and now it's an uphill slope from here again. The amount of times we've had to deal with this, unbelievable. You can see we're going for all sorts of wacky overtakes now, risky ones up the inside. The driver fights back here and nearly sends us off, but no, it's good battling there. But I was very gutted. Everybody. That's because Fraser wins this race or does very well. I've had another bad race. It's practically it. I needed a perfect heat, every heat. I needed a sort of run that I had last year where we had like a first, second in the heats to have that sort of contention. But no, unfortunately, championship-wise is done. But we now have a new challenge on our hands, and that is to recover the day. You can see the conditions here. You can see everyone's kind of all over the place trying to find the grip. We always fancy our chances. This heat was very, very strong. You see it finishes like that. A lot of strong drivers at the top there. We're down in 11th place. We had the fastest lap by like 0.3 of a second, so we had the pace against these quick drivers. So it's a shame. But what can you do? It's part of the game. I don't regret going for that move. I really don't. So yeah, whatever. We're on to Heat 2 now. We still want to end off on a good result, especially as this is our last round of sprints. I'm not doing it next year. I need a break. I need a mental break, really, just from being in the car a lot. You can see here the start of this race. It looks like I've just podded Joe, which kind of is what happened here. But he just got latched onto the side of another car, and then his mid-corner speed slowed down a lot. So we just kind of end up going into him. There's no way we can avoid that. We can't break mid-corner like that. But yeah, this is Heat 2. We're near the back-ish. Again, another ridiculously strong heat, which Fraser started on pole. So again, previous heat aside, this heat is already going to be difficult against Fraser with him at the front and us far back. And we have this driver in front of us in the Pirelli suit. We're going to go up the inside here, and it was a risky move going up the inside here because only the racing line, and this went for most of the track, only the racing line was actually grippy. This last corner as well was very slippery. But yeah, give it a few laps. You can see we've caught them up. It really took me a while to catch these drivers up. When I caught up to them, I realised why. Just not really getting a good punch out the corners. Like at least Thomas Northcott was getting a good run, and well, you can see here we're quite close, but he just kind of gaps us a little bit too much for us to. I mean, you can see it there. Not really anything we can do unless they make a mistake now, or a major mistake. They can still recover from minor mistakes. But yeah, we're just a bit too far back. We lift a little bit for this yellow flag. But yeah, we are currently sitting in 6th position. Yeah, so I just had to count it in my head. You can see Fraser miles ahead, like a couple of seconds ahead of us. We started pole, and you wouldn't expect anything less. But yeah, we're really struggling here a little bit. Well, struggling. We did have the fastest lap at some point, which to me was unbelievable. You know, that's kind of a result in itself. But yeah, you just have to drive what you're given, and this race was difficult. You can see we're really good through the first corner, second corner, catching up a lot of time, placing our car in the right place, being very comfortable underneath us, and that's vital for Buckmore in these conditions with all the varying surfaces, the mixed conditions, under the lights. There's a lot going on, and each corner can be quite different. You go slightly offline and you just drift out wide, which we'll see later on. A few drivers do. Not particularly in this race though. You can see we're just not really able to stick with in the midsection there, and away they go again. Yeah, I think in the end, I think it is final lap now, and it's all kicking off in front of us. But overall, I think we ended up setting 4th or 5th best lap in the end once the race finished. But we were only like a 10th and a bit off the fastest lap. So I mean, yeah, to do that in this car was very good actually. It's a very big positive. Just shows how much we were pushing, and yeah, we were pushing the conditions quite a lot. So far, you know, quite happy with the pace. Just things not aligning very well at all. You know, we were fastest lap and nearly fastest lap in this car as well. We did as much as we could, but these drivers ahead of us, they're all fast. You know, they all know how to drive. The only reason why we're sticking as close as we are to them is because they're battling quite hard. But yeah, 6th place, that's the game. You know, at the end of the day, I did set a lap quite close to their best. So, you know, it's a raceable car. Just, you have to kind of get it done at the start. We're on to heat 3 now, and I apologise for the camera. Clearly I needed to clear the lens here, which I didn't. So we're going to use a bit of the stream here. And here we are. Yeah, so we started on pole position. Obviously high hopes to just kind of win this one. No pressure at all by this point. You know, we're off the back of 2 poor heats. We've had 2 poor heats already. We're starting on pole. I don't feel like, oh my god, I have to win and save the day. I'm not thinking that. I just, to be honest, a little part of me just wants to get the day done. But again, you obviously don't want to give up as well. But I really struggled for rear grip in this race. The tyres, the rear tyres especially, just never really wanted to warm up. A lot of sliding around. And you can see Tommy has caught us up so quickly already in half a lap. Like, we know he can drive, but we would have had a little bit more hope to have a bigger gap. And you can see the last corner on the first lap every single time was very, very hard. But you know, we always made an effort to stay on the track. But majority of drivers just flew off, and I can I can understand why. You go around the last corner expecting grip, and there was nothing. But yeah, you can see we're really being pressurised quite hard here. You know, we've had 2 dog results already, so we're already looking at we're looking at the B final, maybe even the C final, depending on how this race goes, which is obviously disastrous. You know, that's not a result a championship contender should be having at all. And you know, to some people, don't get me wrong, that's a great result, and so it should be. But when we have our level of experience, the amount of expectation we put on ourselves, B, C final is absolutely not acceptable whatsoever. To be honest, if we don't start in the top 5 in the A final, we've not had a good day. So yet alone not even being in the A final whatsoever. But you never know what a heat win could do, and we are really being pressurised here by Tommy, who, to be honest, he's following close, and I wouldn't say he's not trying to overtake. I mean, obviously part of it will be he's trying to stick with and, you know, maybe trying to find a way past, but he also knows that if he goes offline to overtake me, he's either going to understeer straight into me and there'll be a lot of contact, or, you know, there's a chance he'll just come out the corner really badly and he'll be under pressure from drivers behind. You can see he's already under pressure from Ethan behind him. Ethan's going to go up the inside. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You can see he's gone for the move, not come out fast at all, and that's cost him a lot of time. Nearly cost him a space to Ben as well. And that's what made the day very difficult. It's just the track conditions. It started with torrential rain for the heavyweights, and then for us lightweights it's mixed conditions, which is always the worst for heats, because you know, anytime you get alongside or try and make a move, you lose a lot of time, and you have to really do it in such a way that it's not excessive contact, because otherwise that's a bump and pass. But we win the race somehow. Our fastest lap wasn't amazing. I've got to be honest, it wasn't amazing whatsoever. But yeah, it did put us last in the A final, but then the results changed and we were on pole for the B final. I thought, okay, we get a free race. And then I got demoted again to second in the B final. So that race win definitely helped us in terms of getting higher up. But we're in the B final and we're starting second. This is not what you want at Buckmore Park. And you can see here already losing a bit of time. And you can see just behind us, the driver behind us, Tommy Lee, who was behind us in the previous heat, he has been massively compromised. And that is exactly what I'm talking about with starting on the outside at Buckmore, especially in these sort of conditions. So you can see I'm still going wide as well. But Tommy, who started right behind us, is already down to like 20th, 21st. We've been able to recover our poor start up to 5th so far as the drivers behind. I mean, that's Tommy, look there, in the number 69 car. That is how far back he dropped and he started on our bumper. And that's why starting on the outside of Buckmore is very dangerous. And I knew that going into it. I wasn't particularly. You can see the leaders are actually going for a move, and Max actually nearly completed the move there, but obviously just understeered straight on because of the damp conditions and took himself and Thomas wide. That's just kind of is what it. He was actually almost completely past, but it just. I think they just tangled at the wrong moment as well and went straight on, so it wasn't helped with the conditions. But yeah, so we are up to 3rd place and we're already going for 2nd place, and we nearly understeered straight on as well. And we've got another driver, we've got Max alongside us. But look at the leader, he's gone really deep and he's gone wide. And this is what I mean, look at the amount of time he's lost. And we're past, just like that. So from being 5th in this position the lap before, we're now 1st place. And that's how quickly it can change when... And all of that was caused by just drivers being on the wrong line. It just never dry. It was cold, it was very wet out there. This is what happens, but you know, once we got a little gap, we were quite happy, and yeah, we didn't really have to worry too much after this. You know, the car was good, and we could just nail it down. We knew what the conditions were like. To be honest, it hadn't changed at all since heat 2 at least. So yeah, so this was the last lap here. You can see we have the fastest lap and everything. It was a good B final. It was definitely a good B final. Obviously, we don't want to be in the B final, but there are some fast drivers in the B final. I mean, there's just so much talent now that drivers who shouldn't be in it are in it. We shouldn't be in it. Our expectation is not to be in it, not with our level of experience. Yeah, not putting anyone else down whatsoever, but we feel like we should be doing a lot better. You know, we finished 3rd, 2nd and 2nd in the championship in the last 3 years. Then we're finishing 2nd again this year. So we've been able to do really, really well. And this is not the sort of results we should be having, but we know why that's been the case. You know, we were dead last by a mile after heat 1, and at least we've been able to recover to the A final. And here we go, the A final. We are starting 23rd. We're on the inside. What can we do? We've been in this position so many times when we're at the back. Can we do it again? Can we charge to the front? And you can see everyone is all over the place. And we'll do a replay of this start already, but we are already halfway up the pack. Can you believe it? We've been 2 corners, we already are halfway up the pack. Look at us on the inside here. Can you spot me? Now we're on the outside. Now we're going to cut to the inside. Can you see me? It's very hard to see me. Unfortunately, I have no onboard camera, by the way. I should have said that. But we are up to 4th. We're already up to 4th. It's been 4 corners and we're up to 4th. What was I going to say? Yeah, sorry we don't have the onboard camera, but it was playing up again. So we just have the stream, but we will slow-mo it. We will go through how we ended up there. But we are up to 4th already. Can you believe it? I don't think I've ever done a start like that, where you gain 19 positions in 4 corners. It's unheard of. And again, last corner, first lap, everyone's going off. I'm the only one who stayed on. I deserve the win just for that. We're up to 4th. It's absolutely unbelievable. But even better, can we win it? Can we actually win it? Look, you see, we're making a move as well on 3rd on Sam, our teammate. Great move. And Sam comes back and barges us back out of the way. And he's through, but he's lost the position to Fraser. And that's very, very crucial. We've actually lost 3 places from Sam's revenge attack, which is not good at all, especially with Fraser coming back past, because obviously championship leader, well, now the sprints champion, but you know, we know he knows how to drive, and all sorts of action going on again. Andrew and Sam were side by side. They actually really slowed up mid-corner. That I actually tapped the back of Andrew, but I gave that place back to Andrew. I didn't want to take that spot. So much action. Right, let's break it down. How did we do it? You can see us right at the back there. in 23rd. Look, last minute, we pull over to the inside. So we're actually going up the inside. We're making it 3 or 4 wide. We do not want to be the ones who are getting leaned on out the outside. You can see we are still on the inside there. We've made half the pack already. Some guy spun out, but I promise you that wasn't me. You can go back and watch. And now we're going into the corner. Everyone else, obviously the camera's focused on everyone else. Everyone has drifted wide. Absolutely everyone's drifted wide. But look at us on the inside. We're in our own. We've got all the track to ourselves on the inside. Now we're sandwiched again, going into the hairpin. And we've been able to cut around the outside and then cut on the inside of all the drivers. So everyone's just going wide, this way. We placed our car in the perfect spot every single time. And that's how we've made 19 possessions in 4 corners. Can you believe it? You know, with the conditions being like this, overtaking was very, very hard. So to come from the back to the front is simply, it just doesn't happen, not in these conditions. But you have to get it done at the start. I've said it before. You have to get it done at the start, otherwise you're up for an uphill battle. We did get past Andrew McWilliam at turn 2. I think he was probably expecting it anyway, because we were already past him until Sam's overtake on us, which allowed him back past. But yeah, we're just going to push on now. We need to catch up to Fraser, Jake and Thomas Northcott, who is in the lead of an A final for the first time, and by a decent gap as well. And you know, he's not slow when he's bumming around. So yeah, everyone needs to be on their A game. But you know, you'd think he'd feel a bit of pressure being in the front, because it could be a massive result to get your first final win. Jake making a little bit, a small mistake there, which loses him a lot of time to Fraser. But yeah, Fraser was able to pass Jake at turn 2. He's slowly getting away. Moving it on a little bit, you can see, sorry, I know we're going through it so fast, but you can see we've been able to catch up now. And you're going to see exactly what I mean. Again, go slightly offline and you get massively punished for it. Watch as we go down the hill now. So we're following Jake. Jake opens up the corner a little bit too much and gets all sideways. And we're past. You can see I'm going to Jake, let's go. When you've got a sort of, look, I know I'm showing probably a bit too much energy, but when you're doing something special and you know you're driving a very special race where you're doing something you genuinely can't believe you're doing, you feel so much energy. You think you just want to keep up that momentum. You just want to keep moving forward. That's why when Sam came past us, barged us out the way, that did stall us a little bit. You know, we felt like a lot of progress kind of disappeared there. We lost 3 places on the spot, and Fraser was one of them who got past, and he's currently leading. So yeah, it's definitely what could have been at the moment, but you know, it's not all done yet. Let's see if we can catch up. We have been able to close the gap to Fraser even while we're overtaking other drivers, and we are still behind Thomas Northcott. But moving it on to the next lap, exactly the same place down the hill. Watch Thomas Northcott now, goes in deep, opens it up a little bit too much, slides out, and that's it. We are past. And now all our eyes are on Fraser. You've also got the Chapmans here having a great battle. They're actually battling for their own championship in their class number 2, in which they shouldn't be class 2 really. They should be class 1 because they're very good drivers. But yeah, they're obviously having a great tussle as well. But we're up to 2nd now. 21 places made. It's on the last lap now. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Fraser in the end. We did set the 2nd or 3rd fastest lap of the race, so it was a really good race. The kart was good. Everything was good. I felt good. It was all working. It was just such a shame about the incident with Sam. Otherwise, we could have... Yeah, I think we would have won the race from coming from the B final. That would have been very, very special. That would have been a great way to bow out of sprint. You know, to not win the championship, that would have been a good alternative for me. But you can't have everything. We can hardly complain, can we? From being as low as 6th or 7th in the B final, and then finishing 2nd in the A final is an unbelievable comeback. Yeah, and I challenge anyone to try and replicate 19 positions in 4 corners. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. That is the last Club 100 video of 2025, from the 2025 season, and probably the foreseeable future for quite a while. I mean, there might be other videos where we utilise Club 100 carts. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about the onboard camera. I know it would have been so good to have the onboard camera for this, but as you saw, it was a bit blurry anyway. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the future videos.